Welcome to Agoracom's Small Cap Breaking News, your daily go-to source for the best small cap headlines for over 65 million investors since 2007. Today, we're diving deep into the latest breaking news from the small cap mining sector. We're going beyond the headlines to pinpoint the actual financial and drilling results, the stuff that should really compel you to do deeper research. Think of this as your rapid-fire guide, to the crucial data points driving today's market.
That's right. And in this deep dive, we're looking at five distinct companies making waves with new developments. We'll cover everything from gold drill results, infrastructure milestones, to exploration expansions, really highlighting the specific numbers and strategic implications that matter most. We'll examine why these particular announcements are significant, for their sectors and what they reveal about the broader landscape of critical minerals and precious metals.
Okay, let's jump right in then. First up, we're heading to Nova Scotia with NexGold Mining Corp. They trade on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol NEXG, and also on OTCQX as NXGCF. They're big news. NexGold expands Goldboro potential with strong infill drill results ahead of 2025 feasibility update. Now, this sounds promising. What are the standout results, the numbers that investors should really pay attention to here?
Well, what's fascinating here is how these infill drill results have really reinforced their geological model. Specifically, hole BR 25504 intersected 1.60 grams per ton GT of gold over 36.8 meters. And here's where it gets really interesting. It included a high-grade subinterval of 53.57 grams over 0.60 meters. That's quite a kick.
Well, yeah.
And there were other strong hits too, like BR 25484 with 3.36 GFPRC over 3.60 meters and 2.47 GFT over 4.65 meters. These aren't just, isolated numbers. They're part of a nearly complete 25,000 meter drill program. Like their CEO, Kevin Bullock, put it, the latest assays continue to show strong consistency with our geological model, while also highlighting new areas of mineralization in previously undersampled intervals.
Yeah.
So this data is directly feeding into an updated feasibility study and potentially a construction decision in 2026.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you, the investor, that consistency, the model holding up?
Right. If we connect this to the bigger picture, NexGold is essentially de-risking the Goldboro Project significantly. The strong, consistent grades, finding these new mineralization zones, it just improves confidence in their resource base. And that's crucial for reevaluating the project's economics in that upcoming feasibility study. It positions them quite favorably as they approach a critical decision point in 2026 for what could be a really high-quality gold asset in a safe jurisdiction.
Makes sense. De-risking is key. Okay, shifting gears now to critical minerals. Let's turn to Tartisan Nickel Corp. They're trading on the CSE under TN and on OTCQB as TTSRF, their headline. Tartisan Nickel reaches critical milestone with all-season access road completion at Cambridge Nickel Project. An access road. I mean, it might sound basic, but why is this a critical milestone for Tartisan?
Yeah, it's a great question because it touches on the practicalities of actually building a mine. The Cambridge Nickel Project, it's up in northwestern Ontario. Yeah. Historically, you could only really get there by float plane or maybe ATV in the winter.
Wow.
So completing phase 2 of their all-season access road means they've converted those winter-built sections into proper year-round safe access. They even installed 37 cross-drain culverts for sustainable drainage. It's proper engineering. And maybe even more importantly, they've received the phase 3 realignment permit. That allows them to get ready for transporting the really large equipment, fuel, everything you need onto the site. CEO Mark Appleby said, with receiving the Cambridge Road realignment permit, Tartisan is now able to prepare for phase 3 construction, which will allow the company to ultimately float large equipment, including the delivery of fuel into site.
Right. So, okay, what does this really mean for investors looking at the critical mineral space? It's more than just asphalt, right?
Exactly. This isn't just about a road. It's literally about unlocking a strategically important critical minerals asset. Think about it. North America is laser-focused on domestic sourcing of nickel, copper, cobalt, all that stuff for EV batteries, establishing all-season access. That removes a massive logistical barrier and a huge cost barrier, too. It positions Tartisan to actually advance exploration and development efficiently. It turns what was a remote deposit into something that's, development ready. That could attract a lot more attention, especially in the context of future EV supply chains.
Definitely changes the game for them. Okay, let's move on. Now let's look at Kobo Resources, Inc. Trading on the TSX Venture under KRI, their news brings us to West Africa. Headline: Kobo Resources delivers strong gold intercepts at Jagger Zone, reinforces exploration upside in Côte d'Ivoire. They're highlighting strong gold intercepts. Can you unpack those numbers for us? What are we seeing here?
Absolutely. The latest diamond drill results from their Jagger Zone, yeah, they're very compelling. They show broad and pretty consistent gold mineralization. For instance, hole KDD0085 intercepted 20.0 liters at 1.41 garateet gold. And importantly, that included some higher grade sections, 5.0 meters at 3.70 garateet and even 2.0 meters at 8.47 TEU.
Okay, so decent width and grade.
Yeah, and another good one, KDD0084 hit 21.5 meters at 1.14 TEU, including 1.5 meters at 4.93 TEU. What these results do is reinforce the continuity, that the gold system hangs together. Their CEO, Edward Gosselin, noted the latest results reinforce the scale and continuity of gold mineralization at the Jagger Zone, which continue to validate our structural model. They've drilled over 15,000 meters now at Côte, and these intercepts are really setting the stage for a maiden resource estimate, probably in 2026.
So consistency again. What stands out to you about this one for an investor watching Kobo?
Well, if we connect it back, Kobo is basically establishing a robust, continuous mineralized system. And they're doing it in West Africa's Birmingham Greenstone Belt, which is, a prolific place for gold. That consistency in width and grade across multiple stacked gold structures, that's key for defining a potentially meaningful gold resource. So for you, this means you've got a junior explorer building really solid geological fundamentals. They're moving towards defining what could be a significant resource in a world-class gold region. That maiden resource number will be a big milestone.
Right, getting that first handle on the potential size. Okay, let's move back to North America, specifically Nevada Gold Country. Eminent Gold Corp, they trade on the TSX Venture as EMNT, OTCQB as EMGDF, and also FSE under 7AB. Headline: Eminent Gold continues to intersect gold at Nevada's Hot Springs Range, reinforcing Carlin-type discovery potential. Now, gold in every hole drill, it's a strong statement. What are the specific results confirming this?
Yeah, that's a phrase that always catches the eye. They completed 3 deep holes at their Otis target, and yes, all 3 hit gold. Key results include 7.9 meters at 1.2 gram TOU and 4.0 meters at 2.4 gram TO from hole HSC004. And maybe even more compelling, HSC002 delivered 3.9 meters at 2.4 gram AUU, and that included a nice kicker of 0.5 meters at 8.0 gram AUU.
Half a meter at 8 grams, okay.
Right. And their chief geologist, Dan McCoy, emphasized, the gold intercepts confirm a northeast trending structural orientation, consistent with known Carlin-type systems. He added, the Otis Fault is mineralized and every hole drilled remains open in both directions and presents multiple untested targets. And this is Nevada's Great Basin, home to massive Carlin-type deposits.
So hitting gold consistently is great, but what does that Carlin-type label really mean? What's the potential significance for investors looking at discovery potential?
It raises that important question, right? Can a new major gold deposit still be found in a well-explored place like Nevada? Carlin-type systems are the big ones there. They're known for being huge, sometimes lower grade overall, but just massive amounts of gold. Multi-million-ounce potential. Eminent's consistent success hitting gold in every hole on an early-stage project like this, it really suggests a robust system with significant upside. It helps validate their whole exploration idea that this project could be analogous, similar to the major gold deposits nearby. So for you, it's a chance to watch an early-stage explorer potentially unlock significant value in a proven top-tier gold district. It's about that large-scale potential.
Gotcha. Big potential in a known district. Okay, finally, let's loop back to Canada with Canadian Gold Corp, trading on the TSX Venture symbol CGC, their news. Canadian Gold Corp launches new program at Hammond Reef South following high-grade gold discovery. High-grade gold discovery at surface, another strong claim. What were the specific surface sample assays that got them excited?
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. Back in 2024, they reported surface grab sample assays from Hammond Reef South that returned 35.4 grams per ton GT gold and 7.1 Journey gold.
35 grams at surface.
Yeah, exactly. And crucially, they did some more sampling about 80 meters north and pulled 11.6 gram of gold. That extends the prospective trend and showed vein widths up to 20 meters. So to follow up on that, they're launching a 2025 exploration program. It's being funded by a private placement, specifically using flow-through shares, aiming to raise up to about $275,000. And strategically, this property is right next door to Agnico Eagle's fully permitted 5 million ounce Hammond Reef Gold project.
Right, location, location, location.
Definitely. And the CEO, Michael Swiston, commented that their goal is, quote, to follow up on the impressive high-grade surface samples from last year and evaluate the broader scale of this mineral system.
Okay, so high-grade surface hits right beside a giant deposit funded with flow-through. What does this package mean for someone interested in these early-stage?
If you connect the dots, The high-grade surface results are obviously very encouraging.
Yeah.
But combine that with the proximity to Agnico's huge permitted project, that significantly de-risks the location aspect of early exploration. And the flow-through funding is smart for this kind of higher-risk exploration drilling. But here's another kicker. Mining entrepreneur Robert McEwen, the founder of Gold Corp, he holds a significant 32.7% stake in Canadian gold.
Wow, okay.
And McEwen Mining holds another 5.7%. That's a very strong endorsement from someone who knows the gold business inside out. So it suggests a really compelling early-stage opportunity. You've got potential for geological continuity from the neighbor, plus serious strategic value, all in a well-regarded mining jurisdiction. It's quite a setup.
That's a powerful combination indeed. Okay, that was a whirlwind tour, a real rapid-fire deep dive into some of today's most compelling small-cap breaking news. We've seen everything from high-grade gold discoveries being followed up to critical infrastructure milestones really changing the game for projects. These companies are definitely showing tangible progress.
Indeed. I think what we've really seen today are companies advancing their assets with clear, measurable results, whether it's those specific drill intercepts hitting the mark, or critical infrastructure getting completed, or even strategic funding like that flow-through placement. These details, they often signal a real shift, moving from just pure exploration towards a much more defined path, potentially towards resource development.
Absolutely. So for you, the learner, the listener, the key takeaway here has to be always look beyond that initial headline. You've got to dig into the specific numbers, understand the strategic context, see how these announcements fit into the bigger picture for the company. Those are the real nuggets of knowledge, the things that truly illuminate a company's potential.
Yeah, and it raises an important question too. How do all these individual company advancements across different commodities, different places, how do they collectively influence that broader narrative? The story of global resource security and supply chains in the coming years. It's a landscape that's constantly shifting, and today's news is really just a snapshot, but an important one.
Very important snapshot. We definitely encourage you to dig even deeper into these stories. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.